Yeah. Sean Theriault from Liberal Arts. Springer, social work, duh. Associate Dean from social work. Larry Speck from architecture, and Lee McAllister with business. So come, support, get people out there, cheer them on. It's going to be an epic battle to see who changes the world most. My money's on social work. So next up, Senate, the Texas Legislature. As Darren mentioned, I have been working with Student Government GSA. We've all been talking with the Governmental Relations Department, and since Senate is the official voice of students in academic affairs, that will be translated of the legislature. So if you're interested in that, one, Senate has formed an ad hoc committee to just kind of work on the upcoming issues, get the research done. We want to be experts on academic affairs. If you're interested in that aspect of it, definitely shoot me an email. I'd love to have you at those meetings. But if you're just interested in general, if you have one initiative you really want to see us take on, let's talk. So just want to put that on your radar. And then lastly, this isn't on there, but Scott Parks and I are the UT Austin representatives to the UT System Student Advisory Council. That starts tomorrow. Every UT System school will send 2 representatives, and that's a chance for us to make reports and recommendations to the Board of Regents. So if you have an issue that you think could be addressed system-wide, let me know. That's tomorrow. That's all I have. Any questions for me? Next up, we have Blake Baker. Money.
Money, y'all. Hey y'all, well if y'all don't know me, my name is Blake Baker and I'm again Financial Director of Senate. I just wanted to, one, I guess we're going appropriations first on the agenda to plug Senate appropriations. Round 1 applications are due tomorrow by 5 p.m. So if you're part of a registered student organization, I suspect many of you are, encourage your organization to apply. And financial directors, please keep that on your radar because y'all will be having a big part in interviewing and choosing what organizations get appropriations to. So the dates for those interviews are going to be the 23rd of September and the 7th of October. And round 2 appropriations is due October the 1st by 5 p.m. as well. So just keep that on your radar. Also, council presidents and financial directors, y'all's budgets for your Senate funds are due into me, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. I don't know if I set a time limit from it, but just get your Senate budgets into me. You can just send those to my email account, and if you have any questions about appropriations or about what your Senate budget should consist of, please feel free to contact me. Or for just general money issues, I'm also open to that. That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, thanks y'all, I appreciate it.
I just have a few updates from agencies. I have one from Analecta. They received 40 applications for their board, so that's a huge accomplishment for them. So yay Analecta. And then URJ, their update is that their deadline has been chosen for the 2010-2011 school year, and it will be on February 11th. So if you're thinking about submitting anything to the Undergraduate Research Journal, just keep that date on your radar.
Thank you. That is both my father's and George Washington's birthday. Okay. Next up, Allie Smith.
Hi everybody. I just want y'all know I need newsletter items this Sunday by 5 p.m. at my @Austin email. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. So we have Brione Griffin with At-Large of the Week.
All right, so the At-Large of the Week this week is Josh Fieldstel, and he actually was chosen as At-Large of the Week this week because after reading the 3 documents that was assigned to him by his committee chair, he saw a change at the university that he wanted to take, and he took initiative and drafted his own legislation. And I'm not sure for sure, but I think it might be a record for the fastest legislation written by an at-large. So everyone give Josh a round of applause.
I'm impressed. Maybe you should just take over. And okay, moving on to unfinished business. SB 1001, amending the Constitution. No. Yes, amending the Constitution of the Synod of College Councils, adding ASIC as a.
Hi everyone. Isaac actually couldn't come today because they are doing some event for Isaac. So I'm here just to say that a brief update, it would be adding them as an an agency. Once again, they are a study abroad, service learning related organization. Does anyone have any questions before debate starts or anything like that?
Okay, seeing none, yeah, so we're going to move on to discussion and debate we have a time limit of 20 minutes, and is there any discussion or debate? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstaining? Okay, SB 1001 passes. Congratulations. New agency. Okay, moving on to SR 1002, calling for the creation of college tuition and budget advisory committees in the colleges and schools of the University of Texas at Austin. So I think we'll take initial questions, answers before we move on to discussion and debate. Are there any? Adam?
The title seems clear, but the College of Fine Arts has a school within the college. So are you calling for just the College of Fine Arts?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
So, quick point of order.
Oh, yes.
Do we need to motion to close debate before we motion to approve?
So I was told that if there was none, we didn't have to, but if you would like to see that happen in the future, I will do that.
That would be great.
Okay.
Just like, whoa.
Yeah, didn't mean to speed things up on you.
There's no discussion. The chair can move by unanimous consent.
Well, we have a debate, so.
We should close it. You're right. Okay. Thank you, Bargot. That's what you're here for.
Close the gates.
Any Q&A on SR 1002?
A question on lines 31 and 32 where it says the creation of committees and creating a more transparent budgeting system. Is there any way to amend that to where it includes, if you already have an established infrastructure within your college, to this jurisdiction fall under that infrastructure? The College of Communication currently has a student achievement advisory committee, and we would like that infrastructure to oversee this budgetary advisory committee.
So are you saying your problem is with the verb create, or the,
Yes.
the noun, creation?
Yes. And why there can't be some kind of, I guess, add-on to that, like, for instance, if we say, the creation of committees is not already an establishment to advise on budgetary decisions. Sorry, you understand what I mean?
No, I do, yeah.
I'm just trying to process through my mind
Okay.
What the wording
how to
would be.
phrase that.
Okay.
Creation.
Because it's this call for you to establish a whole new committee, no matter what.
If the general theme would be the creation or augmentation or something of committees to advise. Okay, so I'm going to address this. I'm hesitant to add a caveat for any existing infrastructure because that could allow deans to say, oh, well, I already have a town hall. And that is not what we're going for. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we would have to find the right language to call for what you're asking.
Okay.
Does anybody have that language?
Chelsea, did you say create or appoint a committee to, in its place?
Designate, create the creation or designation of a committee. That, to me, that implies that if an existing committee, if a committee exists, you could designate these tasks to that existing committee.
Okay.
Is that a friendly amendment? From, okay. So the creation or designation of, is that what this is? Okay, so the creation of committees or the designation of an existing committee to advise in budgetary decisions. We are accepting that. Friendly amendment. Yes.
Stephen Ratman, Science Council. I guess just be careful, it's a slippery slope. In the next result statement 36, you also say that you recommend that they create committees consisting of faculty and students. So,
In the same modification, create or designate committees.
Okay, so we would now read, recommends that the colleges and schools create or designate committees consisting of faculty and students selected by an appropriate governing body. Is that acceptable? Okay. So we are also accepting that friendly amendment? Okay.
So just a heads up, lines 31 and 36 have changed. If they're anywhere else, you'll see that's the problem.
Are there any other questions before we move into discussion and debate? Okay, seeing none, we now have 20 minutes for discussion and debate. You do not have to use the full time. Business.
One thing, am I allowed, I mean, I guess it would be more of an amendment. I'm new to all this, so I just thank you. When we say on line 43 the center recommends these committees issue a written report, are we disclosing that these committees will just write one report at the end of the semester, or are we saying we're going to continually provide feedback?
So to me, and this is something we discussed in President's Committee meetings, is that this is a bare minimum that the committees must all issue a written report. With the newly added, which I should have talked about that, resolve statement calling for, if this passes, specific proposals at the college level. I think that's a detail that you could explain within your CT-back proposal, talking about how often you want to report and when you're going to be available to amendments to that report. But.
I think to further address that discussion would be ongoing, continually, but the minimum requirement is at least
Oh, yes, so I just wanted to call to everyone's attention the line 50 has an added resolve statement, and that happened at President's meeting last Thursday. It calls for that each college council, in consultation with GSA, will create a college-specific CT-back proposal to be approved by the respective college council within 6 weeks after passing this resolution. I know council presidents, you should all be pretty familiar with what that means for you specifically. If you're not, please, ask me. Yeah.
I just have a question. How did we come up with 6 weeks, and when are the budget decisions made that we have to make these reports by?
That's a good question. I do want to say that within 6 weeks in no way means that 6 weeks is the recommended start date. I know that some are prepared to go much sooner than that, but we as a President's Committee said that 6 weeks was adequate time for every college council to have a CT-back that the council approved of.
Are there any guidelines that we're issuing to colleges, or are we very laissez-faire about this?
I think this legislation would be the guidelines. In President's meeting, they have seen the working proposal, which we went line by line of what everyone was happy with and not happy with. So in a more informal manner, the President's Committee has, I think, adopted that as some sort of baseline or a model to go off of, and then we're all prepared to work at the college level to tweak that existing proposal to match your college-specific needs.
So to clarify, one college council could keep this committee internal, one college council could open it up to the entire college. It could be 5 students on one student on one.
In terms of, are you talking about application process for internal, external?
I'm talking about application process and the structure of the committee itself.
The means of selecting the students for the council, the CT-back, is up to the college council. If it looks like a college council is not providing transparency, then that would not necessarily be in line with this piece of legislation.
And the structure question?
The structure question, oh, you mean in terms of student members? Yes, because we are allowing for councils to determine the kind of ratio that they would like to see on these. Once again, I will say, I guess if a council chooses to have one student on these committees, then they will answer to their college council, their students, and probably the data Texan.
All right. That'll probably happen.
My name is Patrick White, I'm with Communication Council. My question is just that if these are appointed out, if the appointment of these committees is left up to each council, does it have to come into the bylaws in the constitution of each council? Because certain councils have to be a voice of the governing body. You have to be an elected member or an appointed member in that council. So do they then have votes inside of the council that carry forward to the Senate?
So I just want to be clear. So are you saying if your constitution has language talking about appointments to committees, is that what